If an outfit only looks elegant in air conditioning, I don't consider it elegant. That may sound a little unforgiving, but after years of studying how clothes behave on real women, I've learned that extreme heat reveals the truth about an outfit very quickly. At 95 degrees, you cannot hide behind a beautiful blazer. You cannot keep adding layers to fix your proportions. And you certainly should not spend an afternoon choosing between looking polished and being able to breathe. This is where summer style after 60 becomes interesting. Because the answer is not simply to wear less. And it is definitely not to disappear inside oversized linen from your shoulders to your ankles. The real secret is knowing where your clothes should touch your body, where they should release it, which fabrics deserve your money, and which details can quietly do the work of an entire extra layer. Here at Evergrace Style, we believe getting older should make getting dressed clearer, not more complicated. So today, I'm not giving you another predictable list of summer clothes for women over 60. Instead, we're going to put elegance through what I call the 95-degree test. We'll test fabric, airflow, shape, sweat, sunlight, and finally, the one question I use to decide whether a hot weather outfit truly works. And by the end, you'll know how to look cool, composed, and unmistakably well-dressed, even when the weather is anything but comfortable. Before I look at the color, before I admire the cut, and certainly before I look at the label, I want to know one thing. How does this fabric behave against skin? Because at 95 degrees, a beautiful blouse can become a very expensive mistake in 20 minutes. Imagine you're shopping for something to wear to lunch. You find two elegant shirts hanging side by side. Both are ivory. Both have relaxed sleeves. Both look light and sophisticated under the store lighting. But one is a tightly woven synthetic fabric with a slightly slick surface. The other is a lightweight linen-cotton blend with a soft, dry hand. On the hanger, the difference may seem minor. At 3 o'clock on a hot afternoon, it is enormous. The first fabric can begin clinging across your back and under your arms. Suddenly, you're adjusting your blouse, thinking about perspiration, and wondering how quickly you can get back inside. The second fabric moves. It allows a little air between your skin and the garment. It wrinkles slightly, yes, but those soft wrinkles are often the signature of a natural fabric doing exactly what summer clothing should do. And this is where I think many women have been given the wrong advice. We've been taught to judge quality by how perfect something looks on a hanger. In extreme heat, I judge quality by how gracefully a fabric behaves after your body has been inside it for 2 hours. So when you shop, use what I call the touch test. Take a section of fabric gently in your hand. Does it feel cool and dry, or slick and dense? Crush it lightly. Does it release naturally? Hold it toward the light. Does it have some breathability without becoming transparent? Look for linen blends, cotton voile, lightweight cotton poplin, seersucker, or other breathable fabrics that feel pleasant against the skin. And remember, expensive does not automatically mean comfortable. A sophisticated woman doesn't buy summer clothing for the hanger. She buys it for the life she intends to live in it. But fabric is only half the equation, because even the most breathable linen in the world can feel miserable if the garment gives heat nowhere to go. And that brings us to the test most women completely misunderstand, the air test. Here is one of the strangest lessons in summer dressing. More room does not always mean more comfort. I see women make this mistake every year. The temperature rises, so everything gets bigger. The tunic gets longer. The pants get wider. The sleeves become fuller. And eventually, the woman underneath almost disappears. Yes, the clothes are loose. But loose and breathable are not the same thing. When I look at a garment designed for serious heat, I'm not asking, how oversized is it? I'm asking, where can the heat escape? Think of your outfit almost like a house in summer. One enormous room with no open windows is still uncomfortable. What you need is circulation. Clothing works surprisingly similarly. A slightly open neckline gives heat somewhere to rise. A sleeve that releases gently around the upper arm allows movement. A blouse that skims rather than grips the waist creates breathing room. Cropped or ankle-length trousers can prevent fabric from feeling heavy around the lower body. I call these escape points. And this sounds small, but it changes everything. Imagine you're meeting family for an outdoor weekend lunch. Instead of a long, oversized tunic over very wide pants, Try a lightweight linen shirt with an open collar, sleeves ending around the elbow, and straight-leg trousers that finish near the ankle. Nothing is tight, but nothing is swallowing you either. You can still see the shoulder line. You can still understand the proportions of the body. And because air can move through several points of the outfit, you may actually feel cooler with less fabric surrounding you. This is especially important after 60, because comfort should never require you to erase your shape. Not tight, not oversized, released. That is the distinction I want you to remember. The next time you dress for extreme heat, stand in front of the mirror and identify 3 places where air can move in and out of your outfit. If you cannot find them, the garment may be loose without actually being heat-friendly. But there is another problem summer exposes. Take away the cardigan. Take away the jacket. Take away all those clever layering tricks. Does the outfit underneath still have a shape? That is our next test. Extreme heat takes away one of fashion's favorite hiding places, the jacket. And I think that is a good thing, because when the blazer comes off, the cardigan stays home, and the scarf suddenly feels like a terrible idea, you discover whether the outfit underneath was actually working. This is what I call the mirror test. Stand several feet away from the mirror and forget the details for a moment. Don't look at the earrings. Don't look at the print. Look at the silhouette. Can you see a clean shoulder line? Does your eye travel easily from top to bottom? Is there some suggestion of shape? Or has the outfit become one large rectangle? In my experience, women often try to create shape by making clothing tighter. You don't need to do that. Shape and tightness are not the same thing. A shoulder seam sitting in the correct place can create structure. A blouse that falls cleanly rather than ballooning at the waist can create structure. Straight leg linen trousers can create a beautiful vertical line without touching the leg closely at all. And sometimes, one excellent dress does the entire job. Imagine you're going to an early summer dinner. It's still 92 degrees outside. Instead of a blouse, cardigan, necklace, belt, and trousers, you choose a breathable midi column dress. It follows the body gently without gripping it. You add refined leather sandals and 1 pair of sculptural earrings. That's it. 3 decisions. Yet the woman entering the restaurant can look more sophisticated than someone wearing twice as much. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Adding more clothes does not necessarily add more style. Sometimes it simply adds more information. And in strong summer light, too much information can make an outfit feel heavy before the fabric even touches your skin. After 60, sophistication is not about proving how much effort you made. It is knowing when the outfit is finished. So try this before leaving home. Remove 1 unnecessary layer or accessory, step 6 feet away from the mirror, and look again. If the silhouette becomes clearer, you didn't lose anything. You found the outfit. But there is one test that happens after you leave that mirror, and it is far less glamorous. Because eventually, in real heat, every elegant woman does something fashion photography rarely acknowledges. She sweats. And if an outfit cannot handle that reality gracefully, I don't care how beautiful it looked when you left the house. Now let's talk about something fashion magazines have spent decades politely pretending doesn't happen. We sweat, our feet swell, fabric sticks to our backs, and on a truly hot afternoon, even the most elegant woman in the room may be quietly wondering whether anyone can see the damp spot under her arm. That is not a failure of elegance. It is biology. And as a designer, I would much rather dress the body you actually have than an imaginary body that never gets hot. This is where smart summer clothing becomes very practical. First, pay attention to where fabric sits closest to your skin. A blouse can be beautifully loose through the body, but still become uncomfortable if the armholes are too tight. A pair of trousers may look relaxed, yet a thick waistband can become irritating after several hours outdoors. And those lovely summer shoes? Try them when your feet are slightly tired, not only first thing in the morning. Extreme heat changes the relationship between your body and your clothes. Your wardrobe should be intelligent enough to accommodate that. For an outdoor gathering, I would rather see a woman in a washable cotton or linen blend dress with gentle room beneath the arms than in a delicate synthetic blouse she is afraid to perspire in. I would rather see a beautifully made sandal with a secure strap and a little room for the foot than a narrow shoe that looks exquisite for 10 minutes and painful for the next 3 hours. And consider color strategically. Midtones, subtle patterns, textured fabrics, and certain lighter neutrals can sometimes disguise moisture more gracefully than a perfectly smooth, solid fabric that reveals every change. This is not about hiding your body. It is about removing unnecessary things to worry about. Elegance that requires you to pretend your body doesn't perspire isn't elegance. It's costume. A well-dressed woman over 60 understands something much more valuable. Clothing is supposed to serve her, not punish her, not embarrass her, and certainly not demand that she spend an entire afternoon thinking about it. So here is your sweat test. Before buying summer clothing, ask yourself, if I became warm in this, would the garment forgive me? If the answer is no, put it back. Because the best hot weather clothes allow you to forget about them and return your attention to your lunch, your conversation, your family, your vacation, your life. But comfort alone is not enough. There is another judge waiting outside the dressing room, and she is absolutely ruthless. Sunlight. There is a fitting room in every clothing store that you never get to use. It's called the sidewalk. And unfortunately, that is where some very beautiful clothes tell the truth. Store lighting is controlled. It is soft, flattering, and predictable. Summer sunlight is none of those things. It is strong, it creates contrast, it reveals texture, and it can completely change the personality of a color or fabric. This is why I never judge a serious summer purchase under artificial light alone. Take a shiny synthetic blouse in a pale neutral. Indoors, that slight sheen may look luxurious. Outside at noon, direct sunlight can exaggerate the shine and make the fabric appear harsher than you expected. Now place a matte linen shirt beside it. The linen may have tiny wrinkles. Its surface is imperfect, but sunlight catches those irregularities softly, giving the fabric depth instead of glare. Sometimes perfection looks cheaper than texture. The same principle applies to color. I am not going to tell you that women over 60 must abandon black. That kind of rule is far too simplistic. But in extreme heat, large areas of very dark color can sometimes feel visually heavy, especially when the silhouette is also substantial. Try shifting the palette rather than abandoning sophistication. Soft white instead of optic white, stone instead of dark gray, tobacco, muted olive, chambray blue, warm sand, or a restrained print can create richness without making the outfit feel visually dense. Imagine a weekend coffee outdoors. One woman is wearing a heavy black tunic, black trousers, and dark closed shoes. Every individual piece is perfectly respectable. Beside her, another woman wears a soft ivory linen shirt, tobacco-colored ankle trousers, and simple leather sandals. Neither woman is trying to look younger, but the second outfit seems to breathe before she even sits down. That is the power of visual temperature. And here is a practical habit I recommend. Before keeping an important summer purchase, walk toward a window, or, when possible, look at it in natural daylight. Check the color, transparency, sheen, and texture. Ask yourself, does this still look sophisticated when the light becomes honest? Because summer light is not merely illuminating your outfit. Summer light is part of your outfit. And now we come to the final test. Not the dressing room test, not the mirror test, the test that happens 10 minutes after you walk out the door, when nobody is styling you, adjusting you, or protecting you from the heat. That is where we find out whether an outfit truly belongs in your life. I can tell you whether a summer outfit works without asking what brand it is, how much it cost, or whether someone on the internet called it flattering. Give me 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes in front of a mirror, 10 minutes outside. Imagine this. It's 95 degrees. You leave home looking exactly as you intended. Then you walk to meet someone for lunch. The sun reaches your shoulders. Your feet begin to warm. You carry your handbag for a few blocks. Perhaps there is no shade for part of the walk. Then you open the restaurant door and unexpectedly see a friend you haven't seen in 5 years. Here is my question. Are you still happy to be seen in what you're wearing? Not because your lipstick is perfect, not because nothing has wrinkled, but because you still feel like yourself. That is the 10-minute test. A truly successful summer outfit should survive movement, heat, sitting, perspiration, and a little imperfection without making you feel that the entire look has fallen apart. And this is where everything we've discussed comes together. You do not need 12 summer rules. You need 4 good decisions. For extreme heat, I often think in this simple formula: 1 breathable hero piece, 1 clean supporting piece, 1 polished shoe, 1 deliberate accessory. A linen shirt, straight ankle trousers, leather sandals, and sculptural earrings. Or perhaps the hero piece does even more work: an airy midi dress, refined flat sandals, sunglasses, and a lightweight structured bag. That is enough. 4 decisions, not 14. And notice what is missing. No emergency cardigan because you think your arms must be hidden. No heavy statement necklace trying to make a simple outfit interesting. No extra layer whose only purpose is to make you feel properly dressed. This is where many women get summer elegance backward. They keep adding until they feel dressed. I prefer to edit until the woman becomes visible again. Not bare, not overdressed, not trying to look 30 years younger. Cool, composed, completely herself. And if you remember only one designer's principle from this entire video, remember this: when the temperature rises, every item in your outfit should earn its place. It should give you comfort, shape, function, or beauty. If it gives you none of those things, why are you carrying it through a 95-degree afternoon? Style after 60 should not become more complicated. If anything, experience should give you permission to become more selective. You know your body better now. You know your life better. And you should know that being beautifully dressed does not require suffering beautifully. Which brings us back to the question we started with. If an outfit is only elegant in air conditioning, was it ever truly elegant at all? So, the next time the forecast says 95 degrees, I don't want you to stand in front of your closet asking, how little can I get away with wearing? And I don't want you asking, what can I add to cover everything? Ask a better question. What does my body need to feel comfortable? And what does this outfit need to still feel like me? Because that is really what elegant summer dressing becomes after 60. Not camouflage, not sacrifice, and certainly not a competition to see who can tolerate the most uncomfortable clothes in the name of looking polished. You've spent enough years learning what suits you. Now you can use that experience to edit. Choose the fabric that breathes. Give your body room where it needs room. Keep the silhouette clear. Respect the reality of heat. Let sunlight work with your colors instead of against them. And then stop. You do not need a closet full of summer clothes. You need a small number of clothes that understand the summer you actually live in. That, to me, is mature style. Your clothes should adapt to your life. Your life should never have to adapt to your clothes. Now I'm curious about something. What temperature finally tests your elegance? 85, 90, 95, or even 100 degrees? And tell me where you're watching from. Because I suspect a woman in dry desert heat and a woman living through a humid summer have very different stories to tell. If you appreciate timeless style and practical advice designed specifically for women over 60, subscribe to Evergrace Style. And in our next conversation, I want to tackle another summer question women rarely get a sophisticated answer to. How do you show more skin in hot weather without ever feeling exposed?